Hi, it's Anthony with Land Title. I wanted to bring you our first to know update for Boulder County for the month of September. Here we are standing in October, and we're seeing all of those numbers kind of come slowly trending back to where we were last year. So, what's happening? What are we unfolding? What are prices doing? We've been chasing prices down for the last few months here. If you look at it month over month, and it appears that the fall market is kind of getting pretty similar to last year's fall market. You're seeing it in a few places. Now, average sales price is still up 12.4%, so still way above the norm, but the median's at 4.5%. So we're starting to settle out. I think we're going to continue to see this trend down just a little bit longer because demand still looks like it's slipping, and I'll show you why here. Now, first, let's talk about condos for just a second because the condo market and the detached market are very different. Now, that attached market has been in such a supply shortage for so long that it's still seeing these boosting, increasing average sales prices and median sales prices. And we're still up 11%. We're trending in that same direction. But remember, back in 2020, when COVID was in the midst of it, people had really fleed away from the attached product. So this is really the attached dwelling's time to kind of catch up to where the detached product had kind of soared through the last couple of years. So expect a pretty healthy level of appreciation taking place in the attached housing. So that leaves us for two reasons, right? Mainly because our buyers have been forced into lower price points because of the cost of money. When you go from 3% to 7% or so in the course of a 6-month span, it is very, very expensive to purchase a home in retrospect to where we were a year ago or in January. So that being said, that's forcing a lot more people, and you have a lot more demand in the attached product than the detached product because of the price points. Now, here we are as price per square foot. You've seen price per square foot slowly kind of trend down this year since we hit the peak, but we're still about 10% above where we were last year. So that being said, this is still a very healthy market, right? We're still in a really good spot. This isn't necessarily a terrible time to sell a home, but there are a lot less buyers out there than there were before. And here's why. So you can see it in the supply. Active listings on the market are still not quite trending to their seasonal norms where they start to taper off this time of year. We're kind of on pace with where we were in 2018. We're getting closer to, we were in a rising inventory market in 2018, so that should give you a good idea what to expect going towards the fall market. You can kind of see it plateaus out pretty well. It doesn't drop off a ton in December. That's what you would expect. And then going into 2019, we saw a lot of raise in inventory again. That's what I would expect to see over the next 6 months or so, assuming interest rates stay pretty stable where they're at or rise. Are going to continue to be in that rising inventory market. Now, what happens? You see new listings don't change a ton. We might have a 2018, 2019 market again next year with new listings. They might slip a little bit for new active homes coming to market because there's active inventory available, right? So that being said, that's probably why we're off of last year a little bit. That's why people have kind of slowed their pace to get listings to market because we just weren't there last year. Now, the demand. This is the part where we've been talking. So this is what are buyers doing? Buyers have really cut back. Last year at this time, we had 486 homes go under contract. 2020 was a little bit higher than that, but that being said, we really slipped down quite a bit. We're getting closer to those 2018 levels. I put the 2018 levels in there because I really think that gives you some perspective as to where we're kind of heading, what we're looking at, more of a normalized market. And that being said, we only have 335 go under contract. Are people still buying and selling homes? Absolutely. 335 buyers put homes under contract last month. That is a really important thing to tell your clients. There's a lot of homes going under contract. It's 30% less than it was last year. It's trending down like a traditional fall market would, but the month supply of listings is still only at 2.2. So that being said, it's still a pretty tight seller's market. Now, are we heading away from that? Probably. But for right now, you can really see if we trend more towards those 2019, 2018 numbers, we're going to continue to see active units sort of stay stagnant from this till the end of the year, right? We may see a little bit of a fall off in that November, December timeframe because that's pretty traditional with the seasonal market. So we're kind of combining two markets here. We're combining a rising inventory market with the seasonal fall market. And that being said, here's kind of where it all lands, right? What happens between the buyers and the sellers runs into this number. our average days in the MLS. So the average days in the MLS traditionally tends to rise towards the end of the year. You can see it in 2020, 2019, 2018. You can really see that, we hit our low point in May or so, and then we tend to rise throughout the end of the year. So expect these to continue to rise, but we're still only at 29 days in the MLS on average. If you're selling a home, there's not a ton to choose from. Is it a lot more than it was in the spring? Sure. But 2 months of inventory is not a lot. And if you can go under contract in 30 days, I think that that's still a pretty good seller's market. Now you have to price aggressively to get that, which we're seeing out in the marketplace. But it's rose 16% from last month to this month. No surprise. We should continue to see this rise all the way through the end of the year. Now, the percentage close price to list price is still at 99%. Now, that being said, we're right in line with all the other fall markets pre-COVID. So 2018, 2019, it's starting to feel like a traditional fall market. That traditional fall market is what we need to look back at. What did it feel like pre-pandemic? That's really what the market's starting to feel like again, right? We're going to see rising days in MLS. We're going to see this kind of stay pretty stable, slowly taper off. 98% is a really decent fall market. I've sold a home in September before, and it's kind of tricky. It's frustrating. It takes longer to sell than you think, but at the end of the day, you get pretty close to asking price, and you kind of have that type of experience in your market where sometimes it's not so bad selling in the fall. There's still a lot of buyers out there. They're still active. Are they as active as they were in the spring? Probably not. But if you have to buy another home, it's easier to go out and put something else under contract because you have less competition. So that being said, maybe this is a decent time to do those trade-ups, assuming you can weather the interest rate. I'm Anthony with Land Title. If you have any other questions, you can catch me on the next video, or you can always reach out to me. See you soon.